So relatively, we're in a relatively good place. In downstate New York, the curve is on the descent. The question is now, how long is that descent? Is it a sudden drop-off? Is it 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks? We don't know. But better to be going down than to be going up, right? Let's keep that in mind. And we are going down. How fast? We'll find out. But we're in a better place. Hospitalization numbers are coming down. Intubations are coming down. Number of new people going into the hospital every day is still troublingly high, but better than it was, but still problematic. Number of lives lost is still breathtakingly painful, and the worst news that I have to deliver every day, and the worst news that I've ever had to deal with as governor of New York. But at least it's not going up anymore, and it seems to be on a gentle decline. But make no mistake, this is a profound moment in history. Our actions are going to shape our future, and you're not going to have to wait for a 10-year analysis, a retrospective, to find out how our actions affected our future. What we do today, you will see the results in 3, 4, or 5 days. We had a productive meeting at the White House yesterday, productive visit. Sort of everybody says productive visit. Very few people come out and say unproductive visit, right? What does that mean, productive visit? To me, a productive visit means we spoke truth, we spoke facts, we made decisions, and we have a plan going forward. And that was accomplished yesterday. And I feel good about it personally, because it's what should have happened, right? The big issues on the table. In the political process, well, he said this, she said this, and you get into a he said, she said, or you get into a blame game, finger pointing. But the meeting was very productive. And by the way, these are people in the White House who politically don't like me. You know, that's the fact, right? You see the president's tweets. He's often tweeted very unkind things about me and my brother. Politically, he does not. We've had conflicts back and forth. But we sat with him, we sat with his team, and that was put aside. Because who really cares how I feel or how he feels? Who cares? Get the job done. I don't care if you like him or he likes you. It's we're not setting up a possible marriage here. Just do the job. The president also agreed, which is a big deal for New York, to waive what's called the state match for FEMA. Normally, a state has to pay 25% of the FEMA cost. That would be a cruel irony for New York and adding insult to injury. New York had the highest number of coronavirus cases in the country. Therefore, our cost of FEMA was the highest cost in the nation. And therefore, New York should pay the highest amount. How ironically cruel would that be? You're going to penalize us for having the highest number of coronavirus cases in the country. And at the same time that Congress passed a piece of legislation not even funding the states. So the president agreed to waive that, and that is a very big deal. That's hundreds of millions of dollars to the state of New York. We set as a goal yesterday to double the number of state tests, to go from 20,000 on average to 40,000. That is just about the maximum capacity for all of the laboratory machines in the state. Okay, we have private labs, about 300 of them, that we regulate. They have purchased machines over time. These are very expensive machines. If you took every machine we had and they had all the supplies they needed from the national manufacturers, and you ran that machine 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, how many tests could you do? About 40,000. So that's, if you put your foot to the floor, you brought the engine up to maximum RPM, up to the red line, you brought it up to 6,000, assuming the red line was 6,000, and you held it there 7 days, 24 hours a day, at red line, how many tests could you do? 40,000. Now, there's a lot of buts and ifs in there, but the machine has to stay together for 7 days, 24 hours a day. You have to have enough people feeding the machine, but that is our maximum potential. So where did we set the goal? At our maximum potential. Why? Because we need to. Well, it's unrealistic. It might be a little unrealistic, but I'd rather set the bar high and try to get there, and then whatever we get is what we get. But once you do all those tests, every positive you have to go back and trace. And the tracing is a very big, big deal. Once you trace and you find more positives, then you isolate the positives. They're under quarantine. They can't go out. They can't infect anybody else. This entire operation has never been done before. So it's intimidating. You've never heard the words testing, tracing, isolate before. No one has. We've just never done this. There were a few textbooks that spoke about it, but we've never done it. And we've never done it anywhere near this scale. So it is an intimidating exercise. But I say, so what? Who cares that you've never done it? That's really irrelevant. It's what we have to do now. So figure out how to do it. Well, we have to put together a tracing army. Yes. Okay, we put together armies before. Never a tracing army. But we can put together people, we can organize, we can train, and we can do it. And yes, it's a big deal, but it's what we have to do, and it's what we will do. We want to operate on a tri-state basis. I've spoken to Governor Murphy in New Jersey, who's doing a great job, and Governor Lamont in Connecticut is doing a great job, and who have been very great neighbors to New York. It's best to do this tracing on a tri-state area. Why? Because that's how our society works. The virus doesn't stop at jurisdictional boundaries. This is not going to be over anytime soon. I know people want out. I get it. I know people want to get back to work. I know people need a paycheck. I know this is unsustainable. I also know more people will die if we are not smart. I know that. I have to do that count every day of the number of people who passed away. We're not going to have people lose their life because we acted imprudently.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.